I'm going to show you how to optimize your LinkedIn profile to attract followers and clients in 2023. I hopped on LinkedIn to build my personal brand in 2022 and I gained 5,000 followers in 90 days. Aside from really impactful content, the key to gaining more followers is a high converting profile. So I'm going to break down the 6 areas of your LinkedIn profile that you need to optimize in order to convert more visitors into followers. Firstly, your profile picture, banner and video. Next, your headline or your about section, your profile visibility, featured posts, your URL and contact information, and some other profile tips and tricks. But before we do that, I want to tell you 3 things. 3 really crucial things that you need to know from a mindset point of view when operating on LinkedIn. The first is that your profile is probably more important than your website if you're just starting out. If LinkedIn is your main platform, people are going to base whether they follow, engage, or buy from you completely on your profile. How it looks, what it reads like. So don't worry about your website. That's almost step 2. Step 1 is getting them to your profile and converting them into a follower. The next thing I want to point out is your profile is never going to be perfect. It can never be completed. There's always something that you can change. So I always recommend setting a timer, doing what you can, making the progress that you can in that time, and then moving on, because there's lots more important things than your profile. However, the third point still rings true. Your profile is like a window. It's a window into your life, your thoughts, your business, and lots more. And people are constantly going to peek through it and see if it's worth actually visiting or going through the door. So with that said, we don't just want window shoppers. We want to give them a good store experience. However, at the start, it's really important that we give them a good view. Before we get into the profile optimization side of things, I want to say I have 2 resources available under this video. The first is completely free LinkedIn content planner built in Notion with a tutorial video, and that will get you up to speed very fast and save you hours in planning your content. The second is a 13-minute free training where I'll show you the 5 secrets to hit 5-figure months using organic content on LinkedIn. No complicated funnels, no hashtag nonsense, no paid ads. If you want to see more, click the links underneath the video and you can watch or download them both for free. But that being said, let's move on to the first section, profile pictures. And on screen are 3 very bad examples of a profile picture, okay? The first is too dark, so we want to make sure our profile pic's well lit. The second, well, it's non-existent. And the third, well, he's cut off amongst a few other things, right? Maybe a bit too heavy on the makeup. I went through my feed and these are some of the profile pictures that I really liked. They're head and shoulders only. There's nice white space around all the sides. Everyone's smiling or at least looks present. They all look approachable. They have on-brand backgrounds. And most of them have an on-brand background, but they're not all pro shots. Now, a website that I've used in the past is pfpmaker.com. So you can literally just take a selfie and then you can remove the background, stick your on-brand colors on, add a bit of shadow, that kind of thing. So if you want to get a better looking profile picture, but you don't necessarily have the editing or the photography skills, go to pfpmaker.com and that's completely free. The next thing is your profile banner. And these are a massive part of your profile real estate, okay? It's the biggest image that people get hit with when they click to view your profile. So I've pulled out 6 that I like. We've got Ash, Luke Netty, there's my friend Harrison, Heather Murray, Nick Bennett, and I can't remember who that is, but I really liked it. So all very different. And I just wanted to bring your attention to a couple of things, okay? And what they're doing is leaving loads of space here for their profile picture because that's where it sits. And I wanted to go into a bit more detail on Ash's because it's probably the best banner I've seen on LinkedIn. So firstly, he's got an on-brand background. Those are his colors, so it makes sense. He wants to be associated with those colors. So he's got a nice gradient going through the entire banner. Next, he's highlighting his services. He's telling people how he can help them. Not only is that attracting the right people, the right clients, it's also repelling the wrong clients too. So they know straight away, oh, this guy's not for me. I'm going to move on. Next is he's got a secondary photo, but he's also made it pop with a bit of shadow, which is really crucial. Everything else on there is flat, but he's made it pop essentially. At the bottom, he's got his delivery methods. So he's telling people that he'll give out free tips. He'll also help people do it themselves, and he'll also do it for them as well. And in the middle there, which I really like again, is his signature. Now, only one thing I think that's missing from this, and Ash has got loads more followers than me, so I know that he knows what he's doing, but he could potentially have a call to action. He could potentially be driving people to his feature posts or to his bio link to book a call or click to buy or whatever it is. That's the only criticism. But apart from that, in my opinion, this is the best banner I've seen on LinkedIn. Now, again, with banners, we need to be careful. Don't want our profile picture overlapping any text. If you have no design experience, then you can just go to Canva and type in profile banner or LinkedIn profile banner, and that will give you the right sizing. And if it doesn't come up with the measurements, Google LinkedIn profile banner dimensions, and that will tell you where you can and can't put things. And I mentioned that Ash didn't use the CTA. However, what I would recommend doing if you are using a call to action and trying to drive people somewhere is that you only use one. I see lots of people trying to take their clients or potential clients in 25 different directions with an ebook, a website, book a free call, book a paid call. Stick to one thing. Drive them to your bio link or to your featured resources. And we'll get onto those shortly. Next is a profile video, and you'll see Scott Millwood here, someone I know quite well, really nice guy. He's dropped a brilliant video. It's 30 seconds long. He's got subtitles, it's well lit, and he's got some animation going on in the background. Now, not everyone's going to be able to do that, but not everyone's video needs to be professionally made. So all you need to do is make sure you have some natural light. Perhaps you stood in front of a window and you just record yourself on your phone. You can chop this up using an app like CapCut or InShot, and then you can apply captions either using Instagram's auto subs or potentially using an app called Captions as well. One thing I will say here is don't ramble, keep it nice and short, make sure you're smiling, but also make sure you feature your face. I've seen a lot with just animation, just text and graphics and stuff. And you know what? It's not painting you in the best light. People are clicking onto your profile because they want to know more about you. People are clicking onto your video because they want to know more about what you look like, how you move, and how you talk. So make sure that we're giving them a good first impression. Another thing to point out, at the time of filming this, profile videos can only be 30 seconds long and you need to upload them on your mobile. So if you're on your laptop and you can't do it, don't panic. Just send the file across to your mobile and do it on that. On screen, I've given you a very, very loose example script for a profile video. And it can be as simple as this. Hi, my name's Chris. I work for a company called Content to Clients, and we help coaches, creatives, and freelancers to win more clients in 6 months or less. We've worked with lots of entrepreneurs all over the globe and helped them hit 5, 10, and 15, and even 20K months in the process. If you want to hear more about how we might be able to help you, hit the links in my featured posts and you can either book a free call or download some free resources. A little cheeky smile at the end. And a quick little recording hack: if you stumble over words like I do occasionally, you should see the outtakes for this video. You can go and download an app called Teleprompter. It's available on iOS and Android, costs about $20, £20, something like that. And that will bring up the words. If you type your script out, that will bring up the words on your mobile screen as you record, so you can keep eye contact like I am. Cool, moving on. We're going to talk about your headline and your about section. But firstly, why is your headline so important? Why does everyone talk so much about the LinkedIn headline? I'll tell you why. Aside from your profile image, it's the first thing that people see. Every time you make a comment, your headline's there. Every time you visit someone's profile, they can see your headline. Every time you send a connection request, that person can see your profile picture and your headline. So headlines can be 220 characters long, but the first 47 to 50 characters follow you around LinkedIn everywhere. So we want to make sure we've got a really, really impactful headline. And if you want to count those characters, you can use charactercountonline.com for free. And then you can start to engineer what those first 47 to 50 characters are. Now, on screen is one of my favorite headlines. I won't give away whose it is, but it's just so short and to the point. I demystify the stock market for new investors. What she's saying is she takes a complex topic and makes it easy for beginners. I really like this one too. Creating powerful personal brands for CEOs and founders. It's audience centric, it's got a power word in there, and it's got an outcome too. So I'm going to show you on screen a really, really simple headline formula to start out with. You could say something like, I help audience achieve goal without a pain point. So I help, or goal for audience by process without pain point. So mine will be more clients for coaches and creatives using organic content without paid ads, as an example. I won't go through these in detail, but here are a couple of others that you might want to consider using. Don't know where your next lead is coming from? We should chat. This is Leah Turners, who's a friend of mine. LinkedIn trainer. Yes, another one. Making LinkedIn simple and fun. And then I don't know who wrote this, but you should definitely go and check out the website, contenttoclients.co.uk, for coaches who want to earn 5 figures a month. So you can see they're all very, very outcome focused, and they're built to attract the right audience and repel the wrong audience, as we touched on earlier. And I just want to touch on the about section. which I think is overhyped. In my personal opinion, I've never read anyone's about section, but I know if someone wanted to work with me or I wanted to work with someone and I've been studying them for a while, I might go and check it out. I might want to know a bit more about their experience. So one tip I have for you is to write it in first person. Don't get your mate to write it or pretend someone's written a big article about you if they haven't. Just write it in first person. A big mistake I also see is big blocks of text. Remember, white space is your friend. Press return a couple of times, not just once. Also, you might want to use some breakers or emojis. Now, not everyone's an emoji person. I think some people go crazy on them. I just like the bullet points and maybe a little bit of color. Remember, an emoji is like injecting a picture into what can be text only. So it can break up and give the eye something to focus on and make things a little bit easier for readers. And one thing you do want to consider is the first 3 lines are always shown on your profile. Everything else is hidden, so make those first 3 lines count. Again, think audience, think outcome. What do people want to read? What's going to attract them? Okay, next we're going to get onto profile visibility and a couple of things that you need to do here. So if you go to your own profile and you have the people also viewed section turned on, these people are likely to be competitors. So we want to turn that off. We don't want people coming onto our profile after putting in all the hard work to earn that click and then give them away to someone else, okay? Especially a competitor. So we're going to turn that off. And when we do, it turns into a people you may know section, which doesn't feature competitors, and it's much more related to the searchers or the viewer's profile than your own. If you want to turn it off, you can just head to settings and syncing options. Dead simple. Next, we want to hide our connections. We don't want any competitors coming onto our profile and seeing who we're connected with, okay? We don't want them to poach our followers and our connections. So all we're going to do, and an example here, this chap has 2.5k followers. He also has 500 plus connections, but because that writing is blue, that means I can click on that and go through every single one of his 500 plus connections. So we want to turn that off. We don't want anyone snooping. Again, to do this, just go to settings and privacy and then scroll down to visibility and you'll see a yes or a no switch to be able to toggle it on or off. Now we want to turn on creator mode, one of the most valuable things that you can do. So instead of having a connect button on your profile, you're actually going to push up a follow button, which is what we want. We don't want to max out our 30k connections. We want to get loads and loads of followers. You can't max followers out. Creator mode's got quite a few benefits, one of which is the fact that you can feature 5 hashtags on your profile to let people know what you talk about, what services you deliver, what outcomes you deliver, and what you're interested in. Now, there are only 5, so make sure you keep them relevant to your audience. Another thing it does is push your featured posts higher up your profile, and your featured posts are extremely valuable real estate. That's where you can put your click to buy journeys. That's where you can book a call. That's where you can put your lead magnets. That's where you can put your client results. So we want them nice and high with some decent images, and we'll get onto that shortly. And the other major benefit of creator mode is that it features your activity, your last posts on your profile, whereas if you don't have it turned on, it just features your activity and it will feature other people's posts. So on screen, we can see the difference between someone who's got creator mode on and someone who hasn't. The lady on the left has a follow button. The chap on the right has a number of connections, no followers listed, and has a connect button. It's really simple to switch creator mode on, so scroll down on your profile to the resources section and you should see it listed off. All you have to do is click that button and turn it on. Then it'll walk you through the whole process around what you need to do. Okay, featured posts, so valuable. One of the best things on LinkedIn. They're just like Instagram highlights, but better. Because what we want to do is take people off platform. You know, we're not going to do that much business on LinkedIn, especially if you're like me and you have a call as part of your customer journey. So what we want to do is be able to position certain things in our featured posts to get people to convert in some form. Now, it might be to take them to your YouTube channel. It might just be an existing post. It might be client results to nurture them. But essentially, I'm trying to use mine to push lead magnet downloads and for people to book calls. They're really simple to add. All you have to do is go to your profile and click Add Profile section, then click down on the arrow next to Recommended and click Featured. Then you can add posts, newsletters, articles, media, and links. So get creative. Have a look at what other people are doing, take the best bits and own them. Next, we're going to talk about how to customize our URL and our contact information. Not as exciting this part, but it does matter. When you join LinkedIn, you're automatically assigned some random URL like Chris James 78123B6125. It wasn't that exactly, but something like that. What we want is a nice and tidy URL, so it's linkedin.com/in/Chris James Online, which which is what mine is. The main benefit of this is that people can find you nice and easy and you've not got to remember a load of characters or weird numbers. If possible, try and keep it the same as your other social handles too. If someone's on your Instagram or someone's on your YouTube and they want to find you on LinkedIn, they can then do so quite easily. To edit yours, go to the top right hand corner of your profile and click Edit Custom URL. It'll then give you the option to put in whatever you want, and if it's available, it'll let you take it. Now we're going to talk about recommendations. As a user of LinkedIn, you can recommend people that you've worked with, or people that have worked for you, people you've worked alongside, suppliers, or people that you've supplied to as well. Now these are great for social proof. If you've got lots of people on your profile all saying how good you are, it's going to increase the chance that more people are going to buy from you. But you can also give them out too. So if you've been really impressed with a supplier, you can leave them a profile review. All recommendations are featured at the bottom of your profile, but the good thing about them is you can request them. So if you do work for someone, you can actually ask them through LinkedIn to provide one for you. However, I will say that they're time stamped. So what we don't want to do is ask lots of people to do them all at the same time. It'll just look like you've hosted a free masterclass on one day or something. And actively ask people that you've worked alongside, worked for, worked with, if they could give you a recommendation on LinkedIn. All you have to do is go to the profile, scroll down to your recommendations section, and then click Ask to be recommended. Then type the name of the connection you'd like to recommend you, then enter some more information about your relationship. That person will then get a message and they can recommend you or not. Hopefully you've done a good job. So now we're on to the final section, tips and tricks. And I want to show you how to hack your pronoun and name pronunciation. On every LinkedIn profile, you can record how to pronounce your name on audio, and you can also list a pronoun that sits in a slightly smaller font in gray next to your name. But we don't have to use it for what it's typically used for. I've chosen to use content strategies because, again, just like your headline, this pronoun follows you around LinkedIn. Every interaction you have, people will be able to see what your pronoun is. So let's make full use of it. The same can be done with audio. You have 10 seconds to tell people your name. You don't necessarily have to tell them your name in that time, okay? You can tell them exactly what you want. So again, get creative. Another thing that lots of people miss is to add a bio link. We want people off platform. As I said earlier, we want them to book calls or buy things. So give them the opportunity to do so. Stick your link under the location at the top of your profile and make it outcome first. On screen, free sales strategy call with an emoji as well, just to spice things up. Let's drive traffic where we actually want traffic to go. As we mentioned before, your LinkedIn profile is like a window. We want to get them into the shop. So there are the 6 areas you need to optimize in order to have a high converting LinkedIn profile for 2023. We've talked about the profile picture, banner and video, the headline and the about section, profile visibility, featured posts, your URL and contact information, and then a few tips and tricks too. If you want to find out more about winning clients on LinkedIn and on Instagram, you can watch this video right here where I go into shed loads of detail. Okay guys, I hope that was helpful and I'll see you in this video next.